Remember that Lytro camera from a few years back that could refocus a scene after taking the shot? How about that Light L16 camera that had 16 cameras on the back? Imagine a device that combines both of these concepts into one and adds a very capable Android-powered smartphone experience to the mix, and you have the Nokia 9. As the world's first 5-camera array smartphone, Nokia is packing seemingly everything we've wanted to see in smartphone photography into one device. This incredible array of cameras on the back is designed to improve a few very specific things: texture and fine detail, wider dynamic range, substantially better low-light performance, and the ability to refocus the entire image after the shot has been taken. How is all of this possible? On the back, you'll find an incredibly interesting circular pattern consisting of several different nodes. One is an LED flash, one is an autofocus module, 2 of these are RGB camera sensors, and 3 of them are monochrome camera sensors, all situated behind the same 28mm Carl Zeiss lens, which is about an 80-degree field of view. Yes, that means a native black and white mode for photography enthusiasts. Huawei popularized this methodology quite some time back, but never quite to this degree. Nokia is actually utilizing all 5 of those cameras with every single shot, and it's not just being used for composite data either, it's also being used for depth information. But this is not just that fake bokeh portrait mode nonsense that most phones try to fake either. This is real depth information with the ability to refocus every single shot after you take it directly within Google Photos using a new setting called G-Depth. That's a full 12-megapixel shot created from an amalgam of 5 cameras, all with adjustable depth information, and Nokia is saying that captures even include up to 1,200 depth layers in total. I don't even know what to say about that, it's just too surreal. This means you can refocus on basically every point in the scene, foreground or background. Folks looking for even more creative options can use the raw output from the camera, which creates DNG format photos that can be adjusted right from the phone within Adobe Lightroom. Nokia and Qualcomm worked hand in hand to develop a custom version of the Snapdragon 845 chipset, and while that may alarm folks who were looking for that next generation Snapdragon 855 inside this phone, don't worry, it's an Android One powered device, which means there's no bloatware to slow the phone down over time. This Snapdragon 845 features a custom set of noise reduction algorithms that are calculated on the DSP processor rather than the way most smartphones do on the CPU. This provides a 3x speed increase for those noise reduction algorithms and, amazingly, a 10x improvement in power consumption when compared to just doing it on the CPU alone. The GPU is then freed up to render the depth map, all of which is done in a very short amount of time in many situations. As you'll see here though, there are some times when the background rendering takes quite a bit of time, but that's not something that impedes upon the performance of the camera itself, which is important to note. Zooming into these photos shows a lot of detail, and what's more, very wide dynamic range too. Nokia is stating that each monochrome camera sensor is able to capture about 2.9x more light than the RGB sensors that ship with a typical smartphone. All 5 cameras together are then able to gather approximately 10 times more light than other phones on the market without having to wait several seconds as you need to on the night mode features on other phones. Each camera can use different exposure values too, as well as ISO and shutter settings, meaning Nokia's software is unbelievably custom built to handle this unique camera array. We can't wait to put this one head to head with the low light champs and see who comes out best, especially when weighing the time it takes to capture the scene into the mix. While the camera is the most obvious selling point of the phone, the rest of the device isn't a slouch either. There's an in-display optical fingerprint scanner, Qi wireless charging, and even a 20-megapixel camera up front. A 6-inch Quad HD OLED display is on the front with some notable bezels, but thankfully no obnoxious notch, and, most importantly, this phone is debuting at an incredible €599. That's pretty astounding for a device that has the distinct potential to blow every other phone's cameras out of the water and still have plenty of positive points to speak about everywhere else. This one will also be available officially in the US as well. It's going to be a limited edition phone in every region though, So if you want one, you should probably jump on that pre-order as soon as possible. We hope you enjoyed that preview and will check out the rest of the content here on our channel, in particular our camera reviews where we take a deep dive into the most important features of popular smartphone cameras. Check out the site at androidheadlines.com where you can find 24/7 worldwide tech news coverage. Thanks for watching, and until next time.